YouVersion app, Amplified Bible, Classic Edition, AMPC. Matthew 16. Now the Pharisees and the Sadducees came up to Jesus and they asked him to show them a sign, a spectacular miracle from heaven, attesting his divine authority. He replied to them, "When it is evening, you say it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning it will be stormy today, for the sky is red, and has a gloomy and threatening look. You know how to interpret the appearance of the sky, but you cannot interpret the signs of the times. A wicked and morally unfaithful generation craves a sign, but no sign shall be given to it except the sign of the prophet Jonah." Then he left them and went away. When the disciples reached the other side of the sea, they found that they had forgotten to bring any bread. Jesus said to them, "Be careful on your guard against the leaven ferment of the Pharisees and Sadducees." And they reasoned among themselves about it, saying, "It is because we did not bring any bread." But Jesus, aware of this, asked, "Why are you discussing among yourselves the fact that you have no bread? O you, men of little trust, you have in me how little faith. Do you not yet discern, perceive, and understand? Do you not remember the 5 loaves of the 5,000? How many small hand baskets you gathered? Nor the 7 loaves from the 4,000, and how many large provision baskets you took up? How is it that you fail to understand that I was not talking to you about bread? Beware of the leaven, ferment of the Pharisees and Sadducees." Then they discerned that he did not tell them to beware of the leaven of bread, but the teachings of the Pharisees and Sadducees. Now when Jesus went into the region of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, "Who do people say that the Son of Man is?" They answered, "Some say John the Baptist, others say Elijah, and others Jeremiah or one of the prophets." He said to them, "But who do you yourself say that I am?" Simon Peter replied, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." And then Jesus answered him, "Blessed, happy, fortunate, and envied are you, Simon Bar-Jonah. For flesh and blood, men have not revealed this to you, but my Father who is in heaven. And I tell you, you are Peter, Greek Petros, a large piece of rock. And on this rock, Greek Petra, a huge rock like Gibraltar, I will build my church, and the gates of Hades, the power of the infernal region, shall not overpower it, or be strong to its detriment, or hold out against it. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatever you bind, declare to be improper and unlawful on earth, must be what is already bound in heaven. Whatever you loose, declare lawful on earth, must be what is already loosed in heaven. Then he sternly and strictly charged and warned the disciples to tell no one that he was Jesus the Christ. From the time forth, Jesus began clearly to show his disciples that he must go to Jerusalem and suffer many things at the hands of the elders and the high priests and scribes, and be killed, and on the 3rd day be raised from the dead. Then Peter took him aside to speak to him privately, and began to reprove and charge him sharply, saying, "God forbid, Lord, this must never happen to you." And Jesus turned away from Peter and said to him, "Get behind me, Satan. You are in my way, an offense and a hindrance and a snare to me. For you are minding what partakes not of the nature and quality of God, but of men." And Jesus said to his disciples, "If anyone desires to be my disciple, let him deny himself, disregard, lose sight of, and forget himself in his own interests, and take up the cross and follow me. Cleave steadfastly to me, conform wholly to my example in living, and if need be, in dying also. For whoever is bent on saving his temporal life, his comfort and security here, shall lose it, eternal life. And whoever loses his life, his comfort and security here, may say, for my sake, shall find it, life everlasting. For what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world and forfeits his life, his blessed life and kingdom of God? Or what would a man give as an exchange for his blessed life and the kingdom of God? For the Son of Man is going to come to the glory, majesty, splendor of his Father and his angels, and then he will render account and reward every man in accordance with what he has done. Truly I tell you, there are some standing here who will not taste death before they see the Son of Man coming into his kingdom.